Good morning, everybody. We're on the ice. Brandon's drilling some holes right now. We are back on the hump, one of our favorite togue lakes here. Problem that we had with Dad and Brandon last time we were out here is we were looking at an older map that he mapped out and it was wrong. We weren't on the hump at all. So we're on the hump right now. Bad news is there's an ice shack here with a pop-up beside it and a lot of traffic from guys fishing yesterday. We're hoping that they're not going to come back out today. If they are, we're just going to set up a couple traps and fish while they're not here. If they come back to their shack, this is kind of their spot, so we'll move off and try to find a different area to catch some togue. But we're going to put out a couple traps real quick just so we're fishing, and then we're just going to jig, and if it looks like these guys aren't going to come out, then we'll spread out. But we're going to get set up. And fingers crossed, man. I really want to get on some togue today. So does he. He's been struggling this winter, so we'll see you when we're catching fish. And that is a nice bear.
That's a nice smallmouth, dude.
There he is, I can see his reaction.
Yeah. I can't believe that just happened.
I got it!
It's the last day of rifle season, and I just got one.
Just gonna set a couple traps, nothing too fancy. Like I said, if these guys move or get here with their setup, I don't wanna have to move a whole giant spread of stuff. So I'm gonna set this for togue, and then I'm gonna set one for salmon, and then I'm gonna just jig. And we're using freshwater smelts today. I don't use smelts a whole lot. They're pretty finicky fish, but they are one of the best food sources here in our state. And as a general rule, they're not in every lake, but they are in here. All right, so my salmon setups are very, very simple. I fish for salmon generally right under the ice. Just about an arm's pull worth of line. That's about all I do. Fishing them higher in the water column. Usually that's where they're cruising. Not always. You can catch them on bottom. You can catch them in shallow water. You can catch them kind of anywhere. They're just little torpedoes that are cruising around following smelts all day long. No real wind today, so don't have to worry about setting the trap any certain way. Okay, I'm gonna warm my hands up and get a jig rod go together, and using a new bait today. I'll show you guys that. So I did figure out a way to get a flasher bar along with my electronics, so that's kind of cool. I'll show you guys how to do that with this rig. I told you before that it couldn't be done. It actually can be, thanks to a viewer that watched my last video on it. But today I'm using this, which is by HAWG pour baits. Very smelty looking thing. I just got it on a 1/4 ounce moon eye jig from VMC. I'm gonna put some sauce on it and send it down. Decent. Everything's freezing up on me. Everything's freezing up on me. Yeah. Power button right here.
Oh, and that's...
Yeah. Don't lose this fish. Yeah. I can't get past my swivel.
Hand line them in?
Yeah. Nice one. What a mess that was. Holy cow. Well, first togue of the day. Good one. He's still got a lot of fight in him. I barely even had him.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome, nice togue. Well, we're gonna let him go. It's pretty cold right now, so we're gonna let him go. He's like 23.5 inch, probably 3-4 pounder, but only in 22 foot of water. I've seen him 3 times chasing fish. Brought it by him. He chased it up and then stopped, and then I just killed the bait and he just flew at it. So down he goes. That was awesome, guys. First fish of the day. Nice 23-inch lake trout. My absolute favorite fish to chase through the ice. The fight was terrible. Well, the fight was great, but I'm trying to get the camera turned on. The GoPro, oh, the GoPro should have got most of it. GoPro's almost dead. My batteries are freezing up. My eyelets are freezing up. But we got him. Thanks to HAWG Pour Baits on that one. That's what he hit on. I'll link his Instagram below. I don't think you can buy him anywhere other than direct through him. So, but yeah, hopefully as it warms up a little bit, we'll have less freezing issues. But right now everything's freezing up on me. But that was cool.
We got one running. I have circle hooks on it right now.
Yeah.
So oh, you got a flag.
Ooh, my salmon flag. Holy crap.
So I'm gonna try not actually setting it, just give it some pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one on.
Nice. My salmon flag just popped.
Kills. Oh, lost him.
Did you?
Yeah.
Dang it. Okay, see you later. We got a little flurry going on. Hopefully it's a nice salmon. My hands are still frozen from that togue. Oh yeah, he's going. Yep. Ooh. Nice. Nice fish.
Wait. I might switch out those circles.
Swim right at me right now. I mean, right at me. Unless I lost him, I might have lost
Those right
him.
up on top, huh?
Yeah,
Still be a
salmon.
toad, come on.
Oh, it's still there. Felt heavy at first, but salmon. Little salmon.
Salmon?
Yeah. Doesn't want to come up the hole. Flurry.
Yeah. Hey, there's a good,
Yeah.
nice looking one.
Fat. There we go. Nice little landlocked torpedo salmon right there. Right under the ice, 3 feet. And I literally can't feel my hands right now. Another good tip too, when you guys are fishing really cold days like today is, when you're done and you're gonna mess with your line or whatever, stick that tip up back in the water. Helps prevent it from freezing up. If it freezes up and a fish can feel that tension of it kind of frozen, they're not gonna bite, or they'll spit it at least. So, a little helpful tip. 2 fish. Nice. All right, what I'm gonna do here, I'm going to kind of show you guys how, one guy was asking in the comments how to read the fish finder, whether it's the flasher or the sonar. I would assume he meant either or. It's kind of complicated to explain it through typing, so I said I'd do it in a video for him. But first I'm going to show you guys how to pull up. On my last video, fishing for crappie, I said you can't get a flasher, your dual screen, so you're seeing the flasher and your 2D sonar at the same time. I had one of you on here, actually one of my viewers, thank you very much for telling me how to do it. You actually can. It's not the same thing that I was thinking, but it is a little sidebar. So I'll show you guys how to do that, how I have mine set up, and then I'll show you kind of how you read both the flasher side of it as well as the 2D sonar, your normal, fish finder. So this is kind of the best way. It'll probably be really loud because I'm sitting right next to the camera, but you're gonna go back. This is the screen that's gonna pop up. You have your traditional, your flasher. You can split frequencies, which I don't do, but I generally just use the flasher and traditional. So you have to be in your traditional mode. You hit this check button. Then you'll go, this little 3 lines right here, you'll press that. That's your menu. You'll go, menu. You'll go down to sonar setup. Check that. And then you're gonna wanna go, I put my scroll speed on ultra, so that's the fastest it can go. I believe you go down to appearance, check that. And then you have what's called your A scope. Your A scope is gonna be that sidebar that is a flasher as well as that. And make sure that's turned on. A scope's what you want so you can dual screen, and trust me, you're gonna wanna dual screen. All right, so now this side here is my regular sonar. This strip right here is my flasher. So up here you can kind of see some noise. That's just, I have my gain set pretty high, so I can see a lot of interference that my line is causing. So I'll reel up off the bottom, if I can do it with my frozen eyelets. Brandon! My salmon flag went off again. Doesn't look like it's there.
What's that?
Hit and run, it looks like. Yeah, it barely took anything. Hit and run, so I'm going to get you guys zoomed back in and show you how to actually kind of read and see and figure out what's going on your sonar. All right, so I got you guys zoomed in on just the screen now. Like I was saying before, there's a fish up there. See this? That's a fish. I don't know if it's a togue or not, but got him. It was. Got one. It's a salmon. It's a salmon.
Salmon?
Yeah. I don't know if you guys got to see that good or not. I had you kind of zoomed in there. I think it's a salmon anyway. Nope. Yep. Nice salmon.
Nice one.
There we go. Another nice landlocked. That's, I think, honestly, that's probably the first landlocked salmon I've ever caught on a jig rod. I saw him up high and reeled up to him. You guys hopefully saw that. I didn't mark him again, but then he absolutely nailed it. Nice salmon. Well, I gotta say, first time ever using HAWG pour baits. He sent me a nice big bag of them too, which is awesome. And just look at that little thing. Thing is sweet. Like I said before, I will put their Instagram. I don't know if they have a Facebook. I'll get more information before this video goes up anyway. But yeah, you guys should check them out. They make all kinds of stuff, not just this, obviously, but just like that, we'll drop that back down, put a little bit more of the sauce on it, and see if I can get another fish, and try to finish showing you guys kind of how this works. So what you're looking at over here is your regular 2D. This is your flasher. You can see that this is my jig. See how I'm bouncing it up and down? You can do big rips, a little tapping it on the spot. So that's your regular 2D sonar. That's what it's going to look like. Anything that arcs or comes up or moves or darts is going to be a fish. This is your bottom, this is your top. Again, I have line interference because I have my gain set pretty high. This little bar over here is your flasher. You can see that little spot that's moving. That's my jig. Anything that comes up off the bottom or just appears there that moves like that is a fish. Like look, there's one up right now. See that fish? That's the arc of a fish. But that's a, you know, really kind of an ideal situation to happen right now while I'm trying to show you guys what's going on. You saw that line come up and you also saw that arc. So that's kind of what you're looking at, your traditional. Just to show you your traditional flasher. This is what it looks like. Again, there's your bottom. There is my jig. Anything outside of that, that is, you know, that size or bigger, anywhere in your water column is a fish. So that's how your sonar sort of works. Yeah. Doesn't feel big anyway. Oh, he's pretty good. No, it's not that big.
Take them.
We'll take them. Jeez, they're strong. Well, there. It's definitely slowed down, but just put another nice 20-incher on the ice right here, maybe 18, maybe. Big fat. I mean, look how solid that fish is. Just kind of happened fast, so I didn't get the hook up on camera, but pretty sweet. So like I was saying earlier, the bite definitely has slowed down considerably, but we're still sitting in that low 20s, and what we're finding is, not just today, but in general, if your togue and salmon are going to be in that shallower, you know, depths, like 23 feet is pretty shallow for a lake trout generally. Usually you're in 40 to 100 foot for the most part. But if they're up here in this lower depth, they're feeding and they're aggressive, and they usually will bite either your tip ups or your jig. So that's where I've caught all the fish on a jig rod today, is out of this hole actually. So I'm just sitting on it and waiting for those active fish to kind of move in. We might go explore. If it really dies off, we might go try to find a deeper hole, you know, 60+ foot deep, let's say. But for right now, we're both marking fish once in a while. I missed a really nice one earlier, and then just caught that smaller one. So that one was about 21 inches long, so that's going home for the smoker. So yeah, gonna just keep jigging.
The first flag for a little while. Sideways, that's good side. There we go. Doesn't feel like a heavy one, but
no.
I'll take it on the board, hopefully.
Don't count your chickens before they hatch.
Yeah, right. Oh, it's a, you know what?
Huh. Is it a bass?
It's a bass.
That's the first one of those we've caught out here. Nice smallie.
Yeah, nice smallie. Well, there. What the? Look at it. It looks like it's got injured or something.
He's a little bent.
Yeah. Little humpy smallie. Well.
Still not on the board for Lakers this year.
It's been rough for me.
Yeah, usually you're killing them out here. He just flew off bottom, hit it. Better than the last one. All right, just hooked up another one. This one flew out of nowhere. I just switched to a Gulp minnow. Gulp Alive minnow. Feels pretty good.
Good.
Oh, so much fun. I was jigging around the 12 or the 15-foot mark, and he just shot from bottom and smashed it without even being able to register what's going on.
Give her a hand.
Yeah.
You can maybe walk back, and I can. Oh, that's a nice one. Funnest thing on ice.
Yep. I just don't want to force him.
Yeah. What do you got?
I got 12-pound cast. Yeah.
Just want to pop it off on the hole.
All right.
Oh, jeez. He's rolling.
Yeah. Oh, he's pretty good. This might be my best togue ever on a jig rod.
Head up there.
I know.
He's still got some fight in him.
Yeah.
Got him?
Yep. That's a good one. That's a good one. Just switched to, took the HAWG Pores jig off. Just switched back over to a Gulp Alive minnow and just caught my best togue on a jig rod. That's crazy. Probably 25, 26 inches maybe. Yep. 24 and a half. That's my best one on a jig rod. Not my best one ever in general, but beautiful, healthy looking fish. Holy cow, that was too much fun. Woo. I didn't even have a chance to mark it. It popped up from my bottom and just shot right up and nailed it. And then I tried to get the GoPro going and I messed that all up and then somehow caught the fish. I'm not one that really switches baits a whole lot throughout a fishing day once I find something that's working. Those hog pour baits were working awesome, but I've fished this hole for a while, so I figured I'd switch it up, go to something a little bit different profile wise and size wise, and see if I could get maybe those couple of those fish that might have already seen that other soft plastic, give them a different look at something different. So I guess moral of the story, don't be afraid to switch up and try something a little bit different. What the heck did you just catch? Is that a togue?
Yeah, that is a togue.
You're on the board!
Oh my God!
You're on the board! Oh, Brandon! You're terrible at this. Hey, congrats.
Hey. Well,
you're setting your trap, huh?
Well, I was setting my trap. I used my fish finder to set it and get the right depth, and I just find it easier than putting a sounder on it. And I saw something come up, and I started bringing it up, and he hit it. And then I proceeded to drop it down the hole. Just a little guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Bass. Bass. Yeah. Good one. Good 2.5 pound smallmouth. 2.5 pound smallmouth, maybe pushing 3. I knew that one came up too fast to be a togue.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there. Three different species you got.
Yeah. Killing it.
There you go.
Well, I think that's going to be just about a wrap on the day. I gotta say a huge thank you to Hog Pours Baits. They sent it, you know, I commented on it that how good the baits look. They offered to send me a bag. I said I'd put it to use on some lake trout. Keep in mind with those, you know, the baits are a little bit thin. They're made for a drop shot for bass fishing, so they're not really designed for what I was using them for today, but they worked, and they worked really good. Mixed with the scent, I caught a pile of fish on them. I caught my first salmon on a jig rod, at least as far as I can remember on it. So that's really cool, something that doesn't happen for me very often anyway. But it's super fun day. Again, can't thank Hog Pour Baits enough. I will link their Instagram in the description below. I'm not sure if they have a Facebook. I'll look for that. If they do, I'll put that in there as well for them. And again, Brandon, you're out picking up traps right now, so you can't hear me, but thank you for taking me to your spot. This is a spot that he's put in a lot of work to figure out, and I come in here and I catch the fish and he doesn't, so that's not great, but it's fun for me. So yeah, guys, today was a blast. Caught my best jig rod togue and my first jig rod salmon of my knowledge anyway. I might have caught one when I was younger, but I can't remember. So absolute awesome day. I don't even really remember how many fish we put on the ice. We screwed up a lot too. Lost some fish at the hole. Had some small ones messing with us that we couldn't get hooks into. So all in all, for a lake trout day, really good day. We appreciate you guys watching. I don't know where we're gonna fish next, when we're gonna fish next, but we will see you on the next one. I look like an abominable snowman.